I'm going to go through the menus on the left hand side. Activity shows you all of your different notifications. This may include when people have asked you to join a meeting, when people have mentioned you, as well as when students have replied to questions that you've asked. If you click Teams on the left hand side, this will show you all of your classes, as well as any other Teams groups that you've set up yourself. To enter one of your classes, just click on its title. Your classes should be in the format that your class codes are shown in Sims. If the class name on Teams has the letters EXP in front of it, then that means the Teams has expired. This means that it was set up for the last academic year and you should not use this one. If it's the first time you're accessing a team, then it will ask you to activate it at the very top. Pressing activate then allows students to be able to access the class as well. If you wish to set up the team group before you allow students to access it, please do this before you click the activate button. On the left hand side, you can see underneath the team's title, you have a general channel. All of your teams will come with that by default. In this example, the teacher of the group has added some additional channels below. In the general channel, you can ask students to post questions, which not only you'll be able to answer once, but students also might be able to answer each other's questions, which saves a little bit of your time and that allows you to focus on answering the questions that are more tricky for the students to be able to answer themselves. This is also where, when you set up your meetings or your voice conferences, the students will see the invite request here. This means that when it approaches the time the meeting is due to start, they can just click join and join the meeting very easily. Files will show a list of files that have been shared with this team. Please bear in mind though, you've put a huge amount of resources on the student portal, so rather than upload all the files again to this area, simply post the links to the files that you want to share within this channel. Under the Class Notebook tab, you will have student notebooks. These are effectively their workbooks but digital. So this allows them to do individual work, but also you can access every single student's notebook. This means if you set them a specific task to be doing, you can see how each of them are progressing in real time. The content library is a read-only space. This allows you to provide resources to the students that you do not want them to change. The collaboration space allows students to work together on different tasks, so you could put worksheets in there that they'll all be able to collaborate on in real time. The assignment section allows you to set homework traditionally. However, if students aren't in school, then you could also use this as a method to ensure that the students are doing the classwork that you are setting them. To create an assignment, all you need to do is click the create button, choose whether it's a quiz or assignment. A quiz is set up like Microsoft Forms. An assignment, it will ask for the details shortly. When you click on it, it'll ask for the title, any instructions they're going to need to complete the work that you're setting, points if you want to gamify your lesson by giving them achievement points at the end of it, and then you can choose who you want to assign it to. From here you can also choose other classes that you might want to assign it to. You can also choose to assign it to specific students. So if you only have one student absent from your class, you can set it to that specific student so that you can track that they have actually completed the work you've set for the class. You can then set the date due and the time due. Teams will automatically notify the students ahead of time when this is due. You can also choose whether hand-ins are allowed or whether late hand-ins are also allowed. When students hand it in, they can hand it in from their notebook, as I mentioned earlier, or they can take a photo of the work they've done on paper and hand it in that way. This allows you to see how they're actually getting on and what they're doing. When you receive homeworks back, you'll see them displayed here as well, and you can also mark them, and then the grades tab will map out all the students in your class and the grades that you've been giving them back for your homework. This allows you to keep really good track of what work they're doing and how well they're performing. The assignments tab on the left, this allows you to keep track of all the assignments you've assigned to students and the ones that are current. You'll be able to see very clearly on the right hand side how many people have handed it in, and once they've been graded, you'll be able to see them in the list below. When you grade them, it then allows them to move from the assigned category to the graded category, which helps you just monitor the ones that are current rather than seeing the old ones displayed there. The files area shows you all the files you've shared amongst Microsoft Teams, as well as being able to access some files from your OneDrive. The calendar menu shows all of your events that are on your Outlook calendar. This is where you'll add events for your students to join. By event, I mean a video conference. So, in the top right corner, click New Meeting. You then need to give the meeting an appropriate name, such as Period 2 Computer Science. Then set the time the meeting is going to run until. This might be your lesson time, 9 to 10 o'clock. Try to be accurate with the length of the meeting you're planning, just so that the students are able to plan it in easily. This will automatically add it to their calendar as well. On Add Channel, choose the class that you're looking for and then select General by clicking the little arrow to the left and then General. You don't need to add a location because it's going to be held over the internet. You can also type details, such as if there's work you want students to have ready when they join the meeting. For example, if you're going through a homework or a worksheet, you might want the students to have that in front of them ahead of the meeting starting, rather than you needing to do that at the very start. When you click Send, that will publish that to the students' channel, and they'll also get a reminder to join it when the meeting's about to start. If they all join before you, then it will help keep them in a holding area until you're ready to start the meeting. When you join, the meeting will begin and you'll be able to see all the participants within there. I'm going to close that now because obviously I don't want to add it to Tennis's Teams. The advantage of setting it up this way is it will schedule it and automatically notify the students, and you'll also be able to see what you've scheduled in your Outlook calendar. This will help you plan your week and plan when you're planning to do your video conferences. There's a number of different apps that you can use as well, but I would recommend that you stick to the ones I've just shown you now.